Hello, Sharis Ngoya. Welcome. You are the first one today. Rochelle White follows after you. Justin Mayo. Bidemi. Welcome, everyone. Yomi Jegede. Welcome. Usheshukwu Amadi. Pro David. Lola Shoronke, welcome. T.Y. Moore. Benny Gift. Welcome. Omonika Ikade. Welcome. Anne-Marie. Good evening. Mayowa, good evening. Akomolafe, good evening. Charles Smith, good evening. Eric Osadolo, evening. Mofelola. Katerina, здравствуйте. Beer in style. Nice to see all of you again. Gladys Nshank, Moso One, Ufo Manigoro, Niyo Lushola, Fumi Jeboda, Esther Ogundipe, Lara Shoronke. Welcome. Terence Abbott. Good evening. Olena Stebeska, Stella Nuhu, evening, and welcome. Miranda Afolabi. Now, let's do this. As you are coming in, let's go ahead and share the link to this message. Let's go ahead and share the link, please. Let's go ahead and share the link to this message, if you don't mind. It's going to be an exciting program. It's going to be an interview program, a testimonial, and a discussion program with one of my visitors that I'm having this week. And so I think you are going to enjoy the conversation. I think you are going to enjoy the fellowship. And yeah, so if you don't mind, if you have shared the link already, I hope you have. If you have already shared the link, let me introduce to you one of my friend and brother who is also a disciple that has been, it's a family, it's one of our families in this, on this platform. It comes on this platform as well. So he's aware of some of you, he probably knows some of you by name at least, or some of you know him by name. And so there is Pastor Abraham Great from England. What do you call that, your place?
Milton Keynes.
Milton Keynes in England. Milton Keynes in England. Let me introduce you. Pastor Great, tell us about, start by asking you about this daily program that I'm doing. What do you think about it? What's your thinking?
I think my first thought about it, first of all, it's a privilege. I'm still a bit nervous about doing this with you, I know. But what I want to say, thank you once again.
It's a high responsibility.
Yeah, you remember I have to go to the toilet twice. But I want to thank you, sir, for giving me this platform and always doing so either in the church or in the house or with the family, upstairs or anywhere, or in the car. But what I've thought about this program, my first thought about this program is that it's a school for me. It's a school. It's a school of knowledge. And it's
you mean the daily platform, the daily program every day?
The daily program every day is a school. It's an institution of knowledge and wisdom for me. And one of the best way that I could have described it is when I was growing up, we used to watch Feyi Kobo. Like it was a Yoruba program that a king or like a man sits on on a chair or like a throne, and he tells stories, and different people supposedly his children, but they're not just his children, from the whole community. They will come and they will learn and they will ask questions. And you know, growing up in Nigeria, even though I left Nigeria as a teenager, but I see this platform like something like that where people use this to learn. You know, that's how I see the program, sir. I see like a school of knowledge and wisdom.
People wonder, where do you get your name from? Abraham Great. The people will not believe it that you are Nigerian.
Wow, that's $1 million question, Pastor, as you know. First, I would like to reach out. I know I'm not seeing the screen or anything as yet, but I'd like to reach out to some of the people on the platform, like Nkiruka. I don't know if she's there. Mrs. Nkiruka, like T.Y. Moore. I'm sure she'll be surprised that I've not reached out to her personally, but Sister T.Y., I know you're there. I know you're there. My great regards to you. I don't know if McDonald is there.
Yeah,
Anastasia McDonald. Apparently, she lives just 3 streets away from me. And we haven't seen each other in years. You know, and I pray and walk a street sometimes on a daily basis. That's how the UK can be. But my name is actually $1 million question because I was born as Sunday.
So we are namesake.
Exactly, sir. But do you want me to tell the story, sir?
No, maybe not. Just one day.
Okay, I'll paraphrase the story as I was born as Sunday Adeshile Akintayo. But my father had a colleague when I was born, that he had a Scottish colleague at the time, and he said to his friend that he's just had a boy after 3 girls. And the friend asked him, what name are you going to give your son? And he said, this boy gives me problem. I said, why? He said, because he already came with about 7 names from heaven. Why I was born about 10 months or 11 months after my grandfather died, that makes me Babatunde.
Okay.
My father has just built a house, which he was going to dedicate the same week I was born. So the house was dedicated on a Saturday, you know, housewarming like we do. Mm-hmm. And I was born the Sunday prior to that. So that gives me my middle name now, Adeshile. I'm from my mom is from the royal family of Ede. So by that also, she must give me a name like Adebumi.
Wow.
I was born after the twins, you know. So naturally by that, I am Idowu. Wow. So by the time they looked at everything, I already had like 7 names. And the fact that I was born on a Sunday made me Sunday. So he had that dilemma. I was discussing with his friend Jerry. And Jerry said that, why don't you call him?
Jerry was a believer too?
No, he wasn't a believer.
Okay. Just a Scottish man.
Just a Scottish man. They were building contractors together at the time. And they were building Festac. You know, and he said to my dad, he says, so what name? Why not give him something and say, I want to call him Oluwatobi? So he asked my dad and said, what is the meaning of Oluwatobi? So my dad then said, like, God is great. He said, so why not call him Great? But the funny thing is,
amazing.
The funny thing is, by the time my dad was done with the list of names they should give me, there was not enough space. So he didn't put Oluwatobi there. And I won't go into that, but you know my story of how I left Nigeria at 19, and I left university, and I went to Ivory Coast. And
you want to bring some of our people who speak French here?
Oh, il y a les gens qui parlent français là-bas?
Yeah, very.
Donc, pour ceux qui parlent français, je vais dire bonjour, je dis, je suis heureuse d'être ici avec Pastor Sunday pour ce moment. Pastor Sunday, c'est mon père, je ne suis pas son ami. Il avait dit que notre frère, mais il est un peu. What I'm saying is that Pastor Sunday is not.
Speaking to them,
yeah, but Pastor Sunday is not.
Okay.
Donc je rends grâce à Dieu pour l'opportunité qu'il m'avait présenté d'être avec Pasteur Sunday chaque fois. Je viens ici chaque 2 mois, 3 mois comme ça, parce que pour moi, je cherche que aucun leader au monde qui m'a béni comme Pasteur Sunday. Il a le temps pour moi. Et si je ne l'ai pas appelé, il va m'appeler. Je ne sais pas qu'est-ce qu'il veut dire. Bon, moi, je sais que ça, parce que Sunday, c'est un homme de Dieu. Et puis, c'est un homme de sagesse. C'est un homme de révélations. Et puis, c'est un homme de foi. C'est un homme de foi. Donc, je ne sais pas qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire encore, mais bonjour tout le monde. Si vous avez des questions à me poser en français, vous pouvez le dire en anglais. Parce que Sunday il peut lire ça pour moi. Donc comme ça, je peux vous expliquer en français. Grâce
à Dieu. Wonderful, wonderful, impressive. Wonderful. Wonderful. I've not some of them. Oh wow, nice! You speak French, great. Glory, Adele. You speak French, great. Some of them are saying, I need translation. Wow, another one saying, wow, Pastor, great. It's thumbs up for you. Another one saying, oui, bien sûr.
Bien sûr, ouais.
Bien sûr. Another one say, oui, bonsoir, Pastor Abraham. You know, another one say, très bien. Another one says, c'est bon. I don't know what that is. Yeah.
I love French language. If it was possible, I would rather speak French than English.
Wow.
Yeah. At some point, my French was.
Merci pour cette petite introduction.
Thank you for
Très bien, introduction. Okay. Yep. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Yeah. So that when I left Nigeria in 1997.
Because you already got to how you. Good. So we know how you got your name. Great. What about Abraham?
Abraham, I think, if you permit me, sir, let me just quickly say that story, how he joined up to me then being called Great.
Okay.
The second week I got out of Nigeria, I was praying and the Lord led me to the book of Matthew and said I should change my name. And I saw, he said, his name shall be Great. That's reading from the book of Luke about Jesus. And the Lord asked me then what's the meaning of great, and then the meaning of Sunday. Basically, the Lord told me to adopt the name Great. So I went to the pastor of the church then, Winners Chapel, Pastor Ajibade, is now in America. And I said to him, this is what the Lord said to me. And he said, you have to be named on Sunday. We have to do a naming ceremony for you to be called Great. And then I rang my father. My father, although he's a pastor, he's also worked as a civil servant in Nigeria with NITEL. So I called my dad and said, Daddy, the Lord told me to change my name and I would like you to help me to do deed poll. I forgot what it's called in Nigeria, but change of name, and they have to put it on the national newspaper for the embassy to change the name on my passport. And my father started crying on the phone. For me, to see my dad crying is like, what? My father was actually sobbing on the phone. He said, who told you your name is Great? I said, God spoke to me. He said, yeah, I know you said God told you to leave Nigeria. He said, but who told you your name is Great? I said, God told me. So I didn't understand why he was crying, but he said he would send me something, that when I receive it, I should call him. So he sent me a Bible. His Bible, big Bible that he had in the 70s. At the back of his Bible, he had written the name Great. But he wrote on it, it's a pity I didn't know you asked me this question, I would have brought some. He said, Great is an adjective, not a noun. My dad wrote it there. So he could not call me great because in his own mind, great is an adjective. But here I come, 1997, 20 years later, I was now saying God told me that my name is great. So my father started crying. That is how I became great. That is how my name was changed to great.
Great confirmation.
Great, yeah, that is how.
What about Abraham?
Okay. 2003. So what I did from 1997 was I made my surname Great Akintayo because I love my family so much. I love my dad so much, and you know why, sir. So I didn't want to leave Akintayo out of my name. So I remained Sunday. So some people on this platform that probably know me, especially from secondary school or first year in university, will know me as Sunday Akintayo. But after 1997, what I was carrying, like T.Y. Moore, anyone out there again, they might know me as Sunday Great Akintayo. So people call me Great Akintayo. But in 2003, I was about to go to Nigeria to get married. And I was praying in Auburn with my friend, then Shegun Tojola. And as we were praying in Auburn in London, I heard God said to me, I did not call you to be the greatest of the Akintayos. I'm starting a new lineage with you. So at this point before you get married, I will want you to be you and be great. Oh, so in that, I look at myself, I say, great. How can somebody just be great alone? So I called my wife to be, Queen now, in Nigeria. I said, I'm coming for us to marry. Would you rather be Mrs. Great or would you rather be Mrs. Great Akintayo? Okay. So she said to me, oh, if the opportunity presents, why not be Mrs. Great? That was it for me. I went to the lawyers in Dagenham and I did another change of name. So I adopted my Bible name, which is English, which is Abraham. And I took my middle name from birth, which is Abraham Great. So today, people call me Abraham Adeshile Great. So that's why I'm Abraham A. Great. So they're all my names. Somehow, technically, spiritually, they're all my names, but I've just flipped. And I believe that Great is the name my father wanted to call me normally.
I actually have 12 names. 12 names. 12 names.
Wow.
Yeah, so I understand you. So now, let's come back to this, our platform. This week, we are talking about men, and men being real men. And men and fathers, actually talking about men, but fathers more. But before we begin to talk about fathers, what would you say because we are talking to the people on this platform who are following, what will you say this platform in particular has given you? And how has it influenced your life, your ministry? And what do you think it has the potential of doing worldwide, but in Nigeria in particular?
The basic thing that I could say that this platform has given to me personally, one is knowledge. Knowledge that are many things that I do not know that I did not know. Like we know about the categories of people that are out there in many churches, in mosques and people, is that we talk about the 4 categories of people. Those who think, those who don't know that they don't know. I think I'm in that category of people that I do not know what I don't know, even though I know many things. But this platform started showing me the things that I don't even know that I didn't know. And then another thing that it did for me is to let me know the things that I know, but I don't know that I know them. Wow. So there are things that I reason within myself, and I will question, like, how we met, and some on a national level, or on a country level, or on a church level. There are certain things that I read the Bible and I think this is not supposed to be. But what this platform has helped me to do is to know the things that I know, but I don't know that I know so much in that area. So I will call it liberation. platform for me because it emancipates my mindset. It set my mindset free rather than being caged as though there is a way I should think or there is a certain way, as though there was limitation to the scope of my expression in knowledge. So what this platform has done, in fact, is to help me know that there is no limit to knowledge. Because each time I listen to you, Pastor Sunday, and you know this, that I always say it personally as well, I always feel as if, okay, let's reserve some so that you don't exhaust it. Pastor Sunday, you know, I think you are doing too much. I don't want it to run dry. Yeah. But it's like the more you do,
the deeper
the ocean. It's like we never seems to be able to get to the end of it. You know, I've worked with you in this house when either we're talking on a national level and we'll be writing articles. If you permit me to say this, last year I said to Pastor Sunday, you know, we were working on a national level and dealing with Nigeria at the time. And Pastor Sunday will write on a daily basis, twice on a daily basis, an article that is minimum of 12 pages. So I come here a lot and I'm here. Sometimes we work till 4 a.m. in the morning. And by the next morning, by 7 a.m., he's already woken up again. We have started another meeting. So at some point, I started thinking, I said, Pastor Sunday, you are going to kill yourself. I mean, let's reduce it. Let's make it 2 pages. Let's not, Pastor Sunday, you know, some people are fighting you. I don't like what they're saying about you. Please take it easy.
And you say when you used to write the comments, it used to pay you so.
When I read the comments, it pained me. I said, how dare them talk about Pastor Sunday like this? I know this person. I know this man more personal than this. But when I told Pastor Sunday and said, let's reduce from 2 pages,
from 10 pages,
from 12 to the average of 12 pages to like 2 or 4 pages, and let's, instead of doing it twice a day, let's do it once a day. Pastor Sunday went to like 30 pages a day. The articles then went deeper. The research went even deeper, and it went on for months and for months and months and months and months. Then each time I watch this platform, I'm in awe of how can God deposit so much experience, so much knowledge, and so much wisdom in one man. And I think that is my conclusion about this platform, sir.
You were telling me also about it. Why do you have to do it 2 times a day, Pastor?
Yes, I couldn't figure it out that, Pastor, what you put out in the morning, even me, your protege,
there's no time to
even me as your protege, I've not finished reading them.
Or digesting them.
I've not even finished digesting them. Or we have not even finalized, you know, and at that point, I used to think that Pastor Sunday needs something from me because we work hard with him. We're discussing, we're transcribing, or we're checking. So I thought you need every one of us. So, and I saw every one of us working in the team then got tired. Everybody, some of us ran back to our country. Some people that were living here, everybody is like paralyzed. And Pastor Sunday will still turn up with huge work. Perfect work already done. I said, no, I have entered one chance. This man is incredible. And you know, I reported you to, or I told one of Nigerian leaders,
a real man of God,
a real top man of God in Nigeria. I sat down with him and I was describing my experience with Pastor Sunday. And the man said, no. He said, if you try to, he said, if you try to copy that kind of a man, you will kill yourself. He said to me, Pastor Sunday has what he called mercurious energy.
2 words, mercurious and another.
He gave me another word. It's on my notebook. If you remember, he wrote it down for me. I brought his writing.
One is mercurious?
Yes, sir. I think one is mercurious. He gave me 2 words.
You have to explain to them what that means. Mercurious energy.
how do I explain the word again? It's a mercurial energy. It's a rare form of energy that is possessed by only a very few people on the planet, that makes them to have the capacity to do what other people cannot do, or to walk the way other people cannot walk, or to reason the way other people cannot reason. Mercurial energy. So it gave me another word, but I think I have to check my notes because he wrote it for me and I got you to speak with him as well here. But since that time, I made up my mind that as a leader that Pastor Sunday is to me, I would never want to run with you. I would rather want to learn with you. So I'm not envying you in such a way that, oh, I must do what Pastor Sunday is doing. I must be like Pastor Sunday. If I try to do it, I already know that I will kill myself.
What is unusual, because you know a lot of ministers, top ministers as well, and you work with many of them.
Like you know, sir, I compared you to just one of them because I know him so well and he's a father to me in the Lord. And I see him work very hard and I can see the reason why he's so successful. And like you, he got so many people to walk and to walk exceptionally the way other people would not walk normally. And this is why he's still one of the #1 people leading in Africa, if not the #1 person leading in Africa. But I think the difference that, do you want me to talk about difference or why?
No, just, what is impressing you? What do you see that that you are taking, or that, could bless other people?
Okay, one of the things that I see that first of all attracts me is your accessibility. How accessible Pastor Sunday is. I will never forget the first day I met Pastor Sunday. I came with my wife and he was here. I think he was here. He was right here. And Pastor Sunday met me this way. How are you? Hugged me, greeted me, very warm welcome. We laughed. And then he started talking about me. I was in my mind like, did we know before? Has Pastor Sunday seen me in the dream before? I know we've exchanged email.
But I went to do research.
Exactly. But I don't think we have even ever spoke on the phone before. And then from then we went on talking for days, every moment. I cannot understand how accessible. And then the next thing that I know is that I'm already doing so much with you. I can be in your house, in your room, or your children are with me in my house. Or I have never seen a leader that is as open and accessible as you have been. And then I realized that it's not just me, because other people also come here
with the same story.
With the same, right in my eyes. And since, as I've been coming here often, and I realized that you treat everybody almost exactly the same way. There are no special people.
Wow.
Everybody receives the same. And I that is one value that I try to imbibe, I learn from. And if there be any other one is, there's something that I came across from you, which is what I'm still learning. And it's the reason why I'm going back to where 75? I told you the 75% system. The 75% system was, I think it started from when I came here. It's always my principle, not just to follow somebody for what I can get from them. If you remember, I listed 19 things that I noticed and I would like to work on around you, or to as my contribution. And you told me you love me because of that. So I thought I already passed. I thought for listing 19 problems that I found around Pastor Sunday, I'm already a genius. Only for me to start, and then you tell me, go and do the 75%. Go and do this. I didn't understand it. It took me nearly a year. And because no matter what I do, it's like it's not
satisfactory.
It's not satisfactory. It's not good enough. I will work hard, and like sometimes I spend money. I pay staff, I pay people money around the world to do things for me, do research for me, translate something for me. I will tender it. Pastor Sunday will sit down with me and say, you see, this 75%, this is not. But when we eventually got there on a particular project, I saw the difference and I knew that this is how I have lived my life. Not knowing, I have great ideas, but I lack sufficient details that will scale it through. And I realized that there are many people out there who are brilliant, like you described me, who are fantastic, who have great ideas, who even started something, but do not have the detail, the algorithm, the system, enough details. Meeting you make my own business plans now, even though I write business plans of 49 pages or whatever, it makes it look like they are just synopsis or executive summary. I remember writing you, I wrote Pastor Sunday a business plan, an executive summary. In all my years of business, that is sufficient for anybody out there, any world. Anyway, even for presidents, I send them down, they say, hey, great. You are great. You are great. This is fantastic. But when I sent it to Pastor Sunday, Pastor Sunday said to me, no. This is there's nothing here. I'm like, there's nothing here. I said, there is nothing here. There is graph, there is statistics, there is evidences. There is cash flow, there is forecast, there is everything that you would imagine. And then by the Pastor Sunday start flooring me at that point. I'm sure people will want to know what I did. I switched off my Skype. I escaped Pastor Sunday. Pastor Sunday could not find me for 2 weeks. I ran away. I switched off my internet, my phone. I was not just disconnecting from Pastor Sunday. I disconnected from the world. Because everything that I've done, I've spent money. I've paid people. This was last year, I believe. Yeah. I've done things. With my wife and I have worked hard editing stuff. And then only for me to deliver it and it's not good enough. I said, what kind of a man is this? What kind of a man is this? But then
some people are saying Pastor Great now laughs and gestures like Pastor Sunday Adelaja. That's the way it goes. The same spirit they are saying.
Wow. But I think one thing you did to help me was to now start sending people to me, like the guy in Birmingham or other people who have worked with you or who are working with you.
Yeah, even Igor.
Igor came to live with me for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And they were in my house, in my office every day. And we started working together. Then I began to say, wow. Like after then, you know that normally I have the proclivity to talk.
Yeah.
After then, you notice that my language changed. Every time you are speaking, I'm saying,
Listening.
I thought Pastor Sunday will say to me, Pastor Great, you are not talking. You are just saying,
But explain to them why.
The reason is, I came assuming I know. But I realized that I know little. I know, but I know little. I came thinking that I am brilliant. And I think Pastor Sunday accentuated my brilliancy. I think one of the things that you did that astounded me, Pastor Sunday, was the fact that that day when in the church, you took me in front of the whole church and you said that I'm one of the people that have followed you the right way the most, or you like the right way, on that you like my spirit. But you did that thing at the back of just rebuking me in the house or telling me that something is not sufficient. And you said you will spend the rest of your life working with people like Abraham Great. So that make me know that you appreciate me, you saw something in me, but that it was not good enough.
Yeah, not minding the correction.
Not minding the correction. And the other thing that I noticed was when you met me, you saw so many things and ideas that I have. And you said to me, why am I not a millionaire?
And it's easy. It was easy because you were having the potential, right?
Exactly. And you told me that I have the potential to produce millions in pounds or dollars in not long from then. But not only that, you started working with me to make sure that come to pass. We started working on it on a daily basis, doing businesses, opportunities, and many things. And I am extremely grateful for that because
you said you never had that kind of. You're not used to men of God giving ordinary people opportunities like that.
Well, let me say it this way that we have been taught how to be great. We have been taught how to do well. But what we have not had is the kind of way that you have gone, where you go personal, where like in the case of where you want me, for example, you said you want me to become a millionaire or you want me to produce millions because you believe I have potential for it, was that on the business dealings, you didn't just leave them with me. On the several businesses that are even my own, you will get involved with me, you will call me, we'll speak in the middle of the night, we will speak an average of 4 hours a day. Even when anything succeeds or fails, we still talk about, you help me when I'm down because a deal did not go through or something did not happen. You will be the first person to call me on Skype and wake me up and say, you know, I can see your emotion is down. That is how life is. That what have you, start again, go after it again. You know, I will see that when I travel, either whatever. No, let me quickly say this as a way of digression. I have always had this picture. My wife may be watching. When I met my wife, I said to her, God told me I would dine with presidents. I will sit down with kings. I will sit down. I will be a government advisor. I will be this. I always believed those things as a prophecy. But it was when I met you that they become reality.
Yeah, and you are taught also to actually actualize them rather than just believe them.
I was just professing them, confessing them, saying them. But in this case, you make me see the opportunities that are before me. And in less than 6 months of meeting Pastor Sunday,
everything changed.
I was already shaking hands with the president of my country or President Obi. I was already sleeping in the same house with the vice president.
In millions of dollar deals.
I was already in millions of dollar deals. I was already speaking directly with the vice president in the same house. You know, I was already taking pictures with presidents of our own country, from Africa, with the president of South Africa. I was already in America. I was already in the U.S. Senate, in the Congress. I look at myself. I said, what have I become? I said, what have I become?
And you are the same person.
It's the same person. It's the same thing.
You are believing, trusting God that God will do it.
Exactly.
Without knowing that you actually has the power and the potential to do it yourself. To bring everything to pass in your own life. Conversion.
Exactly. So, I converting, and then it was you that taught me the principle. That is how now I can now write presidents of nations. I can now contact, I can challenge things that people don't even know that I'm doing that.
Billionaires are your clients.
Exactly, and having now, Pastor Sunday, the funny thing about it before is that I was the one going to billionaires and millionaires before. Looking for them. But now, like people come to me. They come to me. Big men, like you speak to some of them. I used to have a dream that before I am a certain age, I want to have 5 billionaires as my friends. I'm not even that age yet. I'll be next year.
And you're already there.
I'm already there. Like I'm not just a friend with them. For some of them, we are business partners. We are directors together in businesses.
The table has turned.
Exactly. So I might not be there
and before that same age, you'll be your own billions, like you have said, because you're already in the billions project.
Exactly. So the ability for me to start taking the steps that are pertinent to the fulfillment of my dreams, to move, to build structures, to build things. I must confess that I'm still struggling. But
the demand here is high.
Like when the day Pastor Sunday, you called me sometime this year and you told me you have changed a lot. Now I know you are going to succeed so much. In fact, I'm so confident. I can see it. I said, so what did you see in me before that make you think I'm not there? He said, I can see it in your face. I can see you have changed the way you talk, the way you reason, the way you respond. And you were speaking in tongue, Mama Shasha. You were thanking God that, oh yes, you are there. And I just want to thank God for meeting you, Pastor Sunday. I don't know what more, how I can say it. You know?
Somebody is saying here, as a man thinketh, so you will become. So because you are thinking like this, so that's why you are becoming like that. I said, no, that's exactly the way you used to think before.
That's correct. I used to think as a man thinketh. I now realize from you, Pastor Sunday, it's not just to think. Because if it has to do with thinking, I am bigger than my thought. In my mind, I am very big. I'm very powerful in my thinking.
Well, it's not enough.
But there are many people who went to the grave with their thought. And this is why what I shared with you about the 7 seal are very important, because many people actually have great thoughts. And what happens is when you begin to think big, when you begin to think the right thought, but if your thinking lacks action, you will end up in frustration. After a while, you get to a certain age, you start thinking, maybe the principles of thinking are not good enough principles. Because you have thought all the thought that you need to think, but you have not done all the things that you need to do.
Yeah.
So thinking and acting is not even in parity. They are not even 50-50.
You need to convert whatever you are thinking.
Conversion is larger than thinking. Thinking is the initiation. Is in science what we call activation energy. It is thinking that activates, that creates the euphoria, that creates the eureka moment. That is when the idea is birthed. That is when the picture of what you want to do or become is birthed. But thinking must be translated, first of all, into writing. Documentation. And those documentation must be thorough.
And detailed.
Detailed, which I convert. I convert on paper. But like I said, what I convert now seems to be like synopsis. Because with you, like I saw something with you 2 days ago. And when I saw it, I was saying, wow, 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 wow. Thorough. Extremely thorough. I mean, extremely thorough that I've been thinking about it that, oh, I wish I can see it again. I wish I have a copy of it just to be able to see. Now, I now understand better Habakkuk 2. When Habakkuk said, I will stand upon my watch and I will wait to see what he will say unto me and what I will answer when I am reproved. And he said, he that spoke to me said to me, write the vision down. What most of us as believers concentrate on in that verse is we concentrate on write the vision down. But what we do not think about or what we do not act upon is to make it plain. I used to think that make it plain is let it be written. But writing down and making it plain are two separate things. The way you plan, sir, it is plain where it starts from, where we are going to go with it, how much it costs. Is different from business plan. It is so thorough that it's plain. Even if you die, it will still be done. It will still be done, yeah. Because somebody can then run, which is the Habakkuk was saying. He said that he that readeth it may run. What I've understand in my mentor, in you mentoring me, is I realized that you must develop yourself to the capacity that your vision must be translated into a format that even if you
anybody can pick it up and still do it.
Anybody can run with it.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So that has been life transforming for me.
What will you say about it? Okay, maybe you finish your thought, then I'll ask you the next question.
Yeah, I mean, this has been my experience.
What will you say about Pastor Sunday's commitment and energy about this Nigerian project? And of course the plans and the things you've heard, you've seen, and yeah, that might be able to encourage some other.
I personally am flabbergasted and overgasted. You know, you know the way I flip it around. So normally people are either flabbergasted or they are overwhelmed. So I flip it the other way around, which is I am flabbergasted and overgasted. I'm flabbergasted because either since I've been here now, is it 3 or 4 days now, third day or so, I see you are, no matter the discussion you are talking, yes, it is on this Nigerian project. Yeah, every document around you is on this Nigerian project. And first, I think your focus is a challenge. Because I didn't know that there are other things that you are doing. I know about some other business dealings. But I've not seen you mention any of them. I've not seen you do any other thing. But almost every time I'm coming around here, right now, yesterday we spent about 8 to 10 hours together. The 98% of that time was on this Nigerian thing. Yeah. So I'm somehow challenged by your accuracy. And maybe you explain to me the difference between accuracy and precision. Because I think we can be accurate and not precise. And I understand the reason why you attain your goals, because you are always precise. And, you know, I can see your desk. There is no any other thing. The only book I can see here, this Nigeria, only God can save Nigeria. So I can thoroughly say that Nigeria is on your mind. And I have no doubt. Because I think I was there the first time God revealed to you that you should go to Nigeria. I think I'm one of the first people that you shared it with on earth. And from that time to now, I know other big projects that we're running on here. In fact, there was a program we launched last year here that was supposed to be big, to challenge Facebook and everything. And I'm saying you've gone quiet because God has spoken that you should go to Nigeria. So I am, I don't know what more to say, Pastor, but that's a great challenge for me. Yeah.
So because people say, sometimes people used to say, you talk about this thing a lot, and are you not afraid? How are you? People are challenged. Are you not afraid? There is problem there. There is insecurity there. There is armed robbers there, or there's challenging that churches will come against you. This will come. Those are concerns of people. Why will you leave everything you have built here? How will you leave everything and go there? You know, and all these problems there. What would you say to those kind of people knowing who Pastor Sunday is?
Well, I will first of all confess to say that I share the sentiment of some of those people sometimes myself, especially because I go to Nigeria often, and I know the challenges that are there, and that people can use their mouths to even kill a vision. But I take solace in the fact that I've now known you so well, that you have dealt with a bigger and worse system than Nigeria. Yeah. And I've seen what you have done in this country and the impact that you have made here. So it gives me enough confidence to know that most of the fears of people will be dissipated by the time you get on ground. Because I know, I know that, first of all, I saw that you have insulated yourself, or should I say isolated yourself away from critics. It is people outside that know more of what people are doing about you or saying about you than yourself. I remember when I used to read something about you, and there is a particular story that is online or people are saying about you, and because I know the situation and I know it's not like that. In fact, I know the genesis of the whole thing since it was unveiling last year. I know the individuals involved. I got mad, I was angry, I was calling you I was checking on you 2 a.m. to be sure you are sleeping. And you
I have
told
to be comforting you.
and you were the one comforting me. I said, my friend, go to sleep. You don't let what other people say to bother you. Just continue doing what you. And there's one thing you always tell me then. He said, you know one thing about the truth? Truth will outlast lies. Just leave it, just watch. Truth will come out in the end. Truth will prevail. Go and sleep. Don't worry about me. And then the next morning you have started the next program. So I said, Pastor, are you not even aware that they just published something? He said, you are the one. He said, I don't even read it. I don't even know about it. That is a very, very wonderful quality that I learned from.
Well, just where are the stories? Where are the people? Where everybody is dead? Everything disappeared.
Everything, yeah, and now I look at it 1 year after, I look at it just like you have said. Where are the naysayers? Where are the people? Where are, some of them, you remember some of them even traveled to come and meet me. And then at the end of the day, I realized, I said, where are they today? Then I realized that God has given you to me and to many people out there for me to know how to cope with my future. That I always believe in this statement that great future attracts greater.
Okay.
I always know it as a principle that great future attracts greater attraction.
But it was like what you think in your mind, like the guy was saying before.
Exactly.
It's one thing to know it in the head.
I have been close to greatness, to great men of God. And I remember one of them, my father. One day I was walking on the street. I went to Nigeria and I read in the newspaper that he impregnated a whatever. And that story is not true. But it was in the news. It was front page of newspaper. Only for it to be read.
In Nigeria?
It's his son name, but it's somebody else. But
the story went.
When I saw the newspaper, my whole body was shaking. That how can this be my father in the Lord? How can this be things? But moving closer to you has made me to realize that not only would you, there are possibilities or propensities that are of facing challenges or attacks or people say things about you. But I have now learned the power of how to deal with them. And I've also known that I use your life to study this, to realize that a lot of the time, how can somebody, here's my question to God, how can somebody be so much of a blessing? Like I told you about somebody today, I asked somebody 3 questions, which I'll preserve on this platform. But after the person answered me yes on those 3 platforms, I said to them that they must be evil to speak against you. Because I do not, if it's the same God that I know, that has used somebody to the degree at which he has used you, or used other men of God, some of which people are pulling down, and he has used them so greatly, so wonderfully, and even if something went wrong and they did something wrong, to now believe that that same God will forget all the 99% of the things that they have done, and because of the 3% of the things that went wrong in their organization or around them, they should be pulled down, then it explains to me, why will unbelievers want to follow that kind of a God? Why will somebody want to follow that God? But what we see in Christianity, in Islam, in Hinduism, in every religion out there, is that people elevate leaders. We lift them up so high. We have such a pedestal for our leaders that they become infallible. We don't want them to fall. We don't expect them to fall. We don't want our husband to fall. We don't want our wife to fail. They must not make mistake. They must not do anything wrong. What we are doing then is that we are creating perfection of men when even their creator is not expecting them to be perfect. It's not that you could never have said something wrong, or maybe you sacked somebody and the person is reacting, or you did something that is not supposed to. In retrospect, maybe
everybody is fallible.
Everybody is fallible, but then
and no man is perfect.
But the people out there then become judgmental, and a lot of the cases, people are myopic in their mind. They will believe what they have read. even when they did not know the person. Like in your case, I followed you to court. I've been in the courtroom. I know everything. And even when I don't understand what they are saying, I have brought somebody beside me so that Pastor Sunday is not lying to me. Please tell me what they are saying. And I realized I've seen the other day, I saw somebody came, an elderly man come to fight with the media, just fighting for you. That drop this case, you want to kill this man. You guys are liars. And yet, there are people out there who will believe that these things are real, these things are true. In fact, somebody called me from Nigeria. You know, that's your mentor that you mentioned. Oh, I was going to travel, but I read something that I'm discouraged. I'm not going to go again. I said, that's to your own peril. It's you that lose what it is. And I made a covenant with you, like, you know, that is when I accentuated that I must be here. Sometimes I just come here only just for us to pray together, for you to strengthen me, or for just for me. I said, so Pastor Sunday, I'm coming just to see your face, just to be with you. Because I believe that in life, there are 3 people, or there are people that you need always in your life. That I learned from a great person. He spoke about the first set of people you need in your life is their comrades. Comrades. People who believe in you. People who are for you. People that no matter what you become, no matter what you do, no matter what you did not do, no matter what have you, they will ever, forever believe in you. And this is who I've seen you be for me, and this is what I choose to be with you. Then he spoke about the second set of people who are your constituents. These people don't believe in you, but they believe in what you believe. So they are not there really for you, but they are there for the project Nigerian transformation. Oh, we love Nigeria. You know, we love Nigeria. We want Nigeria. We want transformation, but they do not believe your person. As a matter of fact, they are believing your enemy in some ways. They are, I think the first one should be I forgot how to name it, but the first class of people are the people that believe in you. The second set are the people that believe in what you believe. And the third realm are the comrades. These people, they don't believe in you. They don't believe in what you believe in, but they are against what you are against. So these ones, they will fight common battle with you. But they are neither into you, neither are they into what they do. So when the battle is over, they are no more in your life. And what I've seen you being, and like I said of my father in the Lord also, is to be there for people. I've seen you see people in court, people in trouble, people with police, and you will be restless until they are out of the predicament that they are. And I think I salute that. I salute that. So that gives me the confidence to know that if you choose to go to Nigeria, I have no doubt anymore that Nigeria is going to be transformed.
You helped us release my first book about Nigeria with Pastor Benga.
Benga in America.
Yes, Pastor Benga. Show me. Yes. So this is the book.
Yes.
Even we still carry your company's name there.
Yes, we published. Yeah. I mean,
what will you say about the fact that I've started writing all these books about Nigeria now?
Well, I think if I'm correct, it was the articles we started writing that you started writing last year that precipitated this book. And I remember that when we were writing the articles, then you were telling me that even though I thought they were too much, you said they were just synopses.
Queen Olajumoke Great.
That's my wife.
Go, Pastor Great.
That's my wife. That's my wife. I didn't know my wife is watching. I know she just finished an exam. So I love you, darling. I know she's meant to be resting because she's doing exam at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you kept telling me that, no, the way you put it is this. I think in total, we wrote over, I think you have published over 100 articles on Nigeria.
Yes, yes.
And you said each of them are going to become a book.
Yes.
I became a Thomas. I begin to say, how can you write 100 books on Nigeria? How can? And then you said to me that I'm going to publish it. And then we started working on editing it, and you know, I was one of the people that decided, you know, the house type, the cover, how it should be. My company published the book and the subsequent books by privilege. And I keep remembering that you were saying to me, don't focus on the publishing. You will publish it, but do 75% of the job. The 75%, we fought. We fought on several fronts. But when I now read the book, from the level of work that I was doing with you initially, and I see the level of work you went on doing eventually on your own, it now makes sense to me where I am lacking, or where I was lacking. Because the book is full of depth, it's full of, let me end it at that because I'm going to say so much.
Go ahead,
you know,
some people are following you.
When I read the book, you know, I read a lot.
And you write yours too.
I write books also, and you know, I was writing a book on Nigeria as well for a while. But when I read the depth of research that you do, and I read many books that have been done with research, but a lot of them are full of a lot of platonic level of research that are emotional. Sentiment. What this is done, like, you know, I've said this to you, this is a textbook. But this is not just a textbook that the syllabus could change. This is something that 300 years, 3,000 years from today, an average person going to school in Nigeria should still read this. Because you cannot thoroughly understand Nigeria unless you read Nigeria and the Leadership Question. That is my understanding. You cannot also provide solution thoroughly. And you know my stake, you know, one of the first things that I did, that I said to you when this book was finished, was that it must and should be sent to every governor. And if you remember, one of the things that I said, I recommended also, if there was a way we could put all the governors, all the senators, all the congressmen in Nigeria, lock them up in a room for 1 week, tell them to read this book, review it, and we do an HMT for them, Nigeria will be transformed, I believe. Because some of them does not even know. These are men and women who are in their house. They do not even know 1/10 of the secret about Nigeria that is in this book. I have come across people who are Nigerian politicians, who are in the Senate, who does not even understand Nigerian constitution as much as I know it. Personally, like you can know, I have had senators argue with me about holding a foreign passport and holding Nigerian passport. It's right there in the Nigerian constitution that you can have both. And some people are saying, oh, the Senate president should resign. He has British passport. He has what have you. I said, what has that got to do? The Nigerian constitution allows it. The Nigerian constitution allows it. You can have 3 passports if you want. But there are people even on this platform today who have gone to school to study probably political science, who are still afraid that they don't want to have a second passport because they believe that Nigerian, the depth of ignorance in Africa is endemic. But I am more perturbed by how Africa continue to elect ignorant but educated men. So many of our leaders are exceptionally read, but they're ignorant. Because what people read is textbooks. And what I realize is that most people are reading only within their lifetime. What do I mean by that? Is that what this book did is to dig the history of Nigeria beyond 100 years. Beyond an average person, and some of the people that are out there that are reading today, only read books. Most of us that are out there watching me today, you only read books up to like maybe books that are published from around 1980. That's how far back some of us have ever gone in our life. Some of us, if a book is not recent, you don't even read it. But the people that possesses the greatest knowledge in this life, they read books that are hundreds of years old. They go as deep as knowing the truth. Like right now, why is Pastor Sunday able to know that the majority of the church has derailed? Pastor Sunday, the reason why I could stand with you on this is, one of the first projects I took from you was your book that is still not published, Becoming European. Or how could I interpret it in English? Becoming Civilized. I think civility is one of the biggest disease.
So that book will be needed in Nigeria?
That book will be needed. I still think.
How to become civilized?
How to become civilized. Because I worked on that book. And I think that book eventually might become 2 times this book. It's voluminous.
3 times this book.
Yeah, it's so voluminous.
Yes, so 600 pages.
Exactly. And even my staff who was working on it here, like, the lady that worked with me here, she said to me, and you know that she was not for you before. She was not somebody that supports you before because she's Ukrainian. I told you her comment. In fact, I had to bring her here. I told you her comment of reading and translating the book for me. She said, if the man that wrote this book is truly the man that I've been hearing about, then we have known the wrong thing about Sunday Adelaja in Ukraine. I think that book should be published in English, Pastor Sunday.
How to become civilized.
How to become civilized. Because civility is one of the greatest diseases of Africans. We are not civilized, and we did not realize many things, which is the things that you are taking to Nigeria or you are taking to Africa, that many people are so much in the captivity of religion, albeit mosque or church or whatever, that we are not emancipated at all. We are so locked up that we believe in Christianity, but we do not even know how the Christianity was before those who were Christian brought the Christianity to us. And if I could say this, that we are Africans, we rely so much on revelation. Oh, that is deep.
Spiritual.
That is powerful.
Revelation.
Or revelation. Or Rojabo. This is so powerful. But at the end of the day, I said something to my wife. I believe it was today or yesterday. Is that I have a problem with when I see something is being taught in churches. But somebody has been in that church for 30 years. But they have not experienced that teaching. So eventually they are made to see as though they are not doing enough of the things that they are supposed to be doing in the teaching. However, what I saw that is lacking is that people are taught and they are doing what they are said to do, but they are not doing other things that is civilized for them to be doing in order for them to get the results that they should be getting. So when people are told that go forth and break through, but you are doing nothing, you are taking no step. I've gotten to a point right now that even me myself, I know that by the grace of God, it is inevitable. Nobody in my generation can ever be poor again. But I could not be that assertive two years ago because
you were saying the same thing 2 years ago.
I was saying the same thing
5 years ago.
I've been tithing all my life. I've been saving all my life, but I've not been working as hard as I'm now working. Conversion. And I'm converting. The kind of steps that I take, they're scary. And if there's something that I could say about that also is that last year something happened to me in part of my visit to you. You said something to me. I don't know if I should say this, but I say it. If you permit me, sir. You said something to me. I came to you urgently, and you told me that I don't have to come, but I can come if I want to come. And you told me on the phone that your life is in danger, if you remember, sir. Mm-hmm. And we had evidence that some people could physically harm you or attack you personally. But that was actually the time I then choose to come. And I said, I'm going to come anyway. And you said, okay, good. If you want to come, but this is evidence that we have something, and after I came and I went back, something happened to me, and I realized that I'm also going to go back and I will be ready to die for everything I believe in.
The willingness to.
The willingness for me to go as far as ready to die for my purpose. Before then, I was only willing to live.
For my purpose.
For my purpose. But I realized that your purpose should be so sure and you should work hard enough that even if you die, fulfill your purpose, you would have been fulfilled in life.
and the idea, if you are not ready to die for what you believe, if you are not ready to die for your purpose, you are really deceiving yourself.
That's correct.
You are not ready to pay the price, you are not ready to go all the way, and you are not ready to change your world. Until you are ready to die, you are not ready to bring change anywhere. Wow. Now, I've been talking a lot about family, especially men, and, some people might, at least in the beginning, some people believe that I was coming hard on the men. But later on, the men started getting it, why I was talking and laying so much emphasis on men and family. Did you listen to some of those teachings, and did you take anything from that series at all?
I've been listening to them, not entirely like I always say to you, but almost every day I get some portion of it. And sometimes I go back to listen to the rest of it. I think you've not been hard on the men. I think you've been a real man. And you are not just teaching. You are extremely pragmatic about what you are saying. And what you will see from the platform, what you will notice is that both men and women alike are receptive of what you are saying. And it is liberating many people. And like I was privileged to see a letter, even though I couldn't read it, but I saw how voluminous a letter you received today is. Now, even though I didn't read it, before somebody can sit down and write that huge
10 pages
letter, that person must have been dying in the inside, but they have nobody to talk to. And I'm sure that person will have a pastor. But they cannot express. What you are doing is that you are teaching, and the teaching is making people to know where they have heard or where they are doing it right. You see, there are some people on your platform, Pastor Sunday, that are separated or divorced. And the church would have told them that they are sinners, they are outcasts, they are wrong. By the kind of teaching you have brought, some people now know that, yes, where they are is better. In fact, maybe they should not have married in the first place. Some people would now, you brought freedom into some people's life to now know that, yeah. Oh, so I was doing it right in the first place. And then you meet some other people who are genuine, like myself. And I realize, and like you know, I love my wife a lot. But listening to you sometimes and watching you personally, I then realize ways that I could have been a better husband to my wife. Ways that...
There was a day you called me now and said that something, you are going to surprise your wife or something like that.
Exactly. I said, I'm going to change. I'm going to see my wife differently. I'm going to make my wife know. Something happened to me that day because that teaching transformed my life. It transformed my way of seeing a woman. It transformed, I don't know how best to articulate this, but your platform, I'm not sure you can find 2 or 3 people on the planet Earth that will say the way you have said it. Now, there would or could be people who have said a few things that you said, but not enough thing to take one subject, revisit it, keep digging deep into it, bringing out the old thing. Anybody who goes through this family series that is committed to listening to this teaching series will have a transformed life. Even if they just decide to carry out 40% of what you have taught, they will end up having outstanding life, having outstanding marriage. If they choose not to have marriage, they will end up becoming powerful, they will be fulfilled, they will be happy. I believe that it is, you are removing a seal in people's life or eyes. You are helping people to see what they need to see, you know.
What would you say, people, before they come to really meet Pastor Sunday himself, they always only talk about the fact that, oh, he's the pastor of the largest church in Europe, or he's the pastor of white, 99% white people. But I used to say, even though those things are true, but they don't really do justice to, the work that is on ground. Because if we begin to talk to people individually here and they see the systems that are in place and transforming, the real work that is working is here is much more than the number of people in church, or just the fact that it's even cross-cultural or anything like that. From what you expected to see and from what you saw before you came here.
I think I was in that category, that I'd followed you for years. I'd followed Pastor Sunday for years before I eventually met Pastor Sunday. And I used to see Pastor Sunday as a pastor. I always, I believe, that's all I saw. Pastor Sunday as a pastor of the largest church in Europe, a guy who has done so incredibly. But after I have come to now meet Pastor Sunday, I realized that I don't know if I could say this, Pastor Sunday. I don't know if pastor is the best way to describe you, sir. I think the best way that I can describe you, Pastor Sunday, is like your main calling is that you are a national transformer or a nation builder. And I came to this conclusion after I did HMT the first time, second time, or third time, or each time, and then we go into the country, and I see a lot of the work we have done, and a lot of the network, your influence on politics, and I realized that church planting was just a tease of the iceberg in describing Sunday Adelaja. I think the real thing that you are, or the major thing that I see you as, is that you are a national transformer. Or if I could call it, if you permit me to use this word, Pastor Sunday, we spoke about it yesterday. I think the best way to describe you is that you are a troublemaker.
A revolutionary.
A revolutionary is that you just don't want to accept things the way they are. And if that means causing trouble, you will cause the trouble. If that means attacking the system or the status quo or individuals or system or church or mosque or what have you, you have the power to do that. And I then realized that I think caging you as a pastor is not doing justice to your person. I don't think your greatest calling is a pastor. I think your real calling is as a national transformer, national reformer. And when I read your book on national transforming nations, and then begin to now, I say, so all these church shifts, and then it is that brain that helps you to build the kind of system that you describe in church shifts, and the system that we see on the ground. I'm still surprised. I've been in this house for a few days, and I only meet you at the time that we agreed. And other things, no other person is coming around here, and every other thing that needs to be going on.
Everything is working.
The way everything is working, people that I did not even know I'm here call me at the time I should come and eat. They are the one telling me what time I should eat. And if I miss the time, they will tell me my lunch is gone. You know how everything is so working.
45 churches in Kyiv, I don't even go anywhere.
Exactly, all the churches all around the country, and
in Kyiv alone,
and you are not even using a phone. You don't even have a mobile phone. It's
Is that what? I don't use a phone. What do you want to say about that? That I'm not running about, or what? Or I'm not. Nobody is calling me. What's supposed to be happening?
Okay.
When you are so busy and so big, 45 churches in Kyiv here, about 400 in Ukraine, 1,000, over 2,000 all over the world, and I don't even have I don't even pick calls. I don't even have telephone.
I think one of the challenges that we face, including myself, most of us who live in the Western world, is that we are distracted. Distraction is one of the strongest weapons that the enemy is using at the moment.
But in Nigeria, I have people who have 3 phones.
In Nigeria, like you know, when you met me, I have 2. In fact, up to now, I still have 2 phones, even though I leave one in the office and what have you. But you know what I told you yesterday about how I dealt with that, or I'm going to deal with that from January. Is that a lot of people are distracted, and because of distraction, people cannot learn. People don't have time to learn. So you find that people that should be watching your program or watching other programs, remember what you taught during the time that you were teaching on self-development, intensity, focus, and all that. You describe how people can use time to improve their life. What people don't know is that 80% of what people are doing in a day are distractions. One of the things that you taught on that platform at that time was that anything else, anything that other people can do for you, you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
Anything that somebody else should be doing for you. And I realized that the number one enemy that is living by the side of the bed of every human being in the Western world today, this is living beside our bed. We cannot wake up without it. It wakes us up. We sleep with it. It's the first thing is the telephone.
So it will be something miraculous for them then that I don't use telephone.
For someone like me to get rid of telephone, Pastor Sunday, is as good as being cured of cancer. Telephone is a huge part of our life. But I realize that telephone is the reason why people don't even have a prayer life. Telephone is the reason why people are not developing themselves. There are some people that should be watching programs like this on a daily basis that could help them, but invariably, they don't know. They are on Facebook anyway, 6 hours a day, flipping at pictures, looking at other things, talking on the phone. I realized that my life started moving forward the day I realized that I should not pick every call. But the problem with that is it has created an enemy of me. I hardly speak to people. Before I can call anybody, it must be really, really important. And I spend time with the people but I receive call. I'm still at that point where I'm not calling that much.
But you will testify the fact that I find time for people. I give attention to people. I listen to people. I find time for people.
I think
necessary,
There is something else that you taught that I have now realized is the reason why you are able to do that. You talk about being here and now.
Oh, yes.
You taught me this February last year.
That was a big one.
And you realize, and like you said, I'm not totally cured as yet. Mm-hmm. Like as I'm with you sometimes yesterday or what have you. You didn't mention it, but I know I'm still somewhat distracted, with my businesses, with things, with telephone, with this and that. But I'm doing everything possible, cutting away from...
So it's not what people operate in that here and now?
No, people don't operate in here and now. So, for example, you have been with me. You were with me. We were together for 7 hours 2 days ago. Yesterday, almost 10 hours together. Only me had the phone. You don't have phone. So you were here and now with me. Mm-hmm. I don't know who I could tell in this world that I was. For everybody that is watching out there, that knows you to be busy, that knows you to be teaching every day, if I told them that I spent 10 hours with you, I don't know how they will believe it. But you were here and now with me. We were delegating on several issues. We were making calls. We were right where there was no call from your daughter, call from your wife. There was no, like in my case, where is the car? Who is coming from the airport?
Or the church,
or the church, or the finance, or one bill. Or if you look at me, there is a bill from the council. There is this one from Inland Revenue. There is that one. I'm still, but all of these things still are in your life also.
Of course, more.
But they are not around you. Guess who else I studied this from, Pastor Sunday? I read the autobiography of Henry Ford some times ago. And I realized that this principle I found around you. Henry Ford was asked that does he have a problem? And he said he doesn't have a problem. He doesn't have any problem at all. They then said to him, he's lying. How could he be saying that he doesn't have a problem at all? He said, because I employed a problem manager. He said, every problem in my life, every bill, everything stopped at his desk. The only thing he sends to me is the solution. That is how I see him. Because nothing, we have been here again for about 5 hours together. There is no news, there is no email, there is nothing that has come in between us. Because other people are dealing with it.
Everything.
I wish I can structure my life that I can be that.
My wife, what about my wife? My wife takes her home. You see, she is even more organized than me sometimes. Things, I think.
I think if you want me to talk about Pastor Bosse, I will cause trouble. Because I've never seen a woman that organized in my life. I used to think that...
Because people are asking me that I should invite her to come and do the program with me sometimes, or to come and be, but they don't know that she's very structured. She's so organized that she needs to plan that maybe for 3 months or 6 months ahead. And she needs to, she would not just, I will not even be bold enough to go and just I'm not stupid. I know how things are supposed to be done.
Exactly.
So I know that if she has not made provision for that, I'm even more ashamed of people going to say, tell her like that. So tell her them.
I think yesterday I got a message a few hours before that Pastor Bosse wanted to see me at a specific time. I made sure that I was there 1 minute before because I know Pastor Bosse. Pastor Bosse came. We've been relating and all that. But a few times that Pastor Bosse has come around me, especially the first time she came into our house, Pastor Bosse turned everything in my house upside down. Before I knew, the sitting room was changed. The beds in almost every room, 5 bedroom, the sitting rooms, the study, in the kitchen, everybody was walking upside down. This should be here, that should be here. But that is not, it's not just in organizing the house of Pastor Sunday. The one that is there is that.
That's the only one you had.
No, the one that is thrilling is we will have to go somewhere on a daily basis. And I will be, I live in England, I can calculate the... Pastor Bosse will want us to live like 2 hours of error ahead. So if we were supposed to, I'll make a car available, but maybe I've not told them. Yet. Maybe they were not ready, or I've not told them where they will get fuel, or I did something. Pastor Bosse will be, he will be disorganized. How can you be like this? I'm like, where you are going is 2 o'clock. This is 8 in the morning. It takes 1.5 hours for Pastor Bosse. That appointment of that day is the major thing of the day. It is, you should wake up planning it. You should let her know what time they will buy fuel, what time they will drive, who is it that is going to bring, who need ruler, who need pencil, who need, everything must be meticulous. Everything must be meticulous. It's not that, okay, we are going to have devotion. Yesterday we have devotion at 7 a.m. Today we have the devotion at 9 a.m. For Pastor Sunday, it must not be like that. For Pastor Bosse, it must be, everything must be structured and static. And
precise.
And so precise.
Precision.
Precision. everything must be on point, organized. There was another case. I think I was supposed to pick somebody at the airport, or maybe it wasn't Pastor Bassett. I was supposed to send somebody to pick, and the particular airport, for the past 10 years, when I go to Luton Airport, I don't like that airport, I must confess. Because I believe it's not good enough airport for the kind of money they charge. So what I do is that, because it's so close to my house, it's only 30 minutes, maximum 30-minute drive. So what I do is that I let the person land. I don't tell them. I will let the person land before I move, so that we're not just paying rubbish parking at the place. So I will calculate that the person will spend like 30 minutes on a queue to come out. But in this case, I miscalculated. The flight arrived earlier, and Pastor Bose was there. But I learned a big lesson. From now, I do better than that. Because Pastor Bose schooled me, showed me, it does not matter the cost. Your reputation is more important. You create impression by how people deal with you. You have to, whoever you are sending there should be at that airport. And she asked me a question. Can you see, you come to Ukraine a lot. Has anybody ever been there to pick you late? And each year now, I come here at least 6 times. Before I come out of the immigration, somebody is there waiting for me. He said, you don't know what is costing them. Well, they are there anyway. That changed my life. That I wish I can become a lot more better. We have improved a lot on that. But we're working at it. You know?
I heard that she was also either organizing people to go shopping in your house or do things ahead or put the fridge or something like that. Yes. That's what Igor's wife was telling me.
Exactly.
That you don't just go to shop when you need it or chaotic.
Exactly.
Like that's to be done a week and everything has to be.
Exactly.
Okay. Wow. I think one of your friends is here.
Who is that?
Aremu something. What's his name?
Mike Aremu?
Yes.
That is my best friend on the earth.
Yes. He doesn't know that you are going to be here or what?
Did I tell Bro Mike I'm going? We were together on Sunday.
No, that you are on platform right now.
You didn't know. I didn't
you didn't know.
That's one of my strongest friends on the planet Earth, Mike Aremu.
Is he the musician?
The musician, yes.
You wanted to bring him here. That's how I recognize him.
Yes, I want him to come here. I've been telling him he has to meet you. We were together, when was it? On Sunday. Yes, he was with us. We were together on Sunday. It was Mike Aremu and I have been friends for almost 25 years. Wow. Yeah, we've lived, even before I started playing sax, we've lived together. We're brothers. This is one of the people, like the 3 categories of people that I was describing earlier. There is nothing I do on earth or that I did not do. Mike Aremu will always be on my side. And no matter what he does or doesn't do, he's my friend for life. There's no error in his life. There's no error in my life. One of the first person I will talk to if there's any error in my life is him. Or if there's any in his life that he'll talk to is me. And many people know...
Is he based in America or Nigeria?
He's based in the UK for now, but he's as well based in Nigeria. So he's between Nigeria and the UK. Many people know Mike Aremu as a musician.
Okay.
But that is one of the most contrite-hearted friend I have.
But he's a musician, though.
He's a great musician. A legend. It's a legend. He's one of those people that believes in my calling, even 15 years before I became a pastor. Wow. As one of the people that will always believe that there's a calling of God upon my life.
Well, you can't believe it. We have overspent our time.
Really?
You can't believe it's more than a half hours already here.
Wow. Wow.
What would you like to share with people before they go?
Well, I don't know if it is still necessary, but this is not necessary anymore. That's
God has done it.
God has done it. You have delivered me. But I want to just reach out to everyone on that platform. I'm not able to see them all, but the regular visitors on that platform, I can see Jacob Saleh, all the way from Dallas.
Have you seen the wife?
I saw the wife.
You saw the wife this afternoon? Okay, tell them so that they will get fresh information about the wife.
She was angry with me that I didn't tell her that I've been in this house for a few days. But I was going to pray with her, and then the Holy Spirit said to me that what I want to pray with her is already done. Wow. So I sent her a message. She said, Pastor, you are in the spirit. Wow. It is done. So congratulations, Brother Jacob Saleh. I'll be seeing you guys in Dallas at some point soon. Yes. Congratulations, my brother, to T.Y. Moore.
Yep. You know her.
Maybe I should ask her if she knows me. T.Y. Moore. I'm saying hello to T.Y. Moore, to Anastasia, to regular people, to Mrs. Nkiruka. Your testimony is a great. It's a great. I heard your testimony.
That is whose?
Nkiruka, Mrs.
Nkiru,
Ushubadi, yeah.
Okay.
During HMT,
yeah.
That was extremely touching. That was motivating. I send out a salute to you, but to Anastasia, to everybody that is out there, Janet, John, I can see names like Oluwatoyin Ade, Abide, me, Paul, but if there's a way I can just summarize it all, is that everyone on this platform should never for the rest.
What about if anybody wants to contact you?
If anybody wants to contact me, I think the best way to find me is on Facebook.
Okay.
On Facebook, I have my personal page is Abraham A. Great, but my fan page is the one that I think people can join mainly or like, which is Abraham Great Official. Or Abraham Great Official. I think that is, I don't know if that is correct, but if people from my office are watching, you can put a link of my fan page. I don't know it myself, but I'm sure there will be one or two people from...
Well, is it not your name?
Yes, my name is Abraham Great Official.
Okay.
Or on my website. My website is down, I think, up till maybe this Friday.
My Facebook is good.
My Facebook is good, yeah. AbrahamGreat.com, Abraham Great Official is my fan page. My Twitter page is...
Abraham.com, that would be a website.
That's my website, okay. Yeah. But my Facebook is Abraham A. Great. You look for Abraham A. Great. My Twitter, I'm on Twitter as well, active on Twitter as Abraham Great.
Do you know, I noticed that after I started doing this, my live program, you also, I think maybe you learn one or two things from that, or maybe not, but you I noticed that you have also started doing a lot of live program. Would you like to talk?
Oh, yes. But can I quickly ask this, sir?
Yes.
I want to ask Toyi Moore, if it's the same Toyi Moore that I think I know, if she knows me.
Okay.
See, that's
she's
Sister
hearing
Toyi Moore.
you.
I hope she's hearing. But I think it's the same Sister Toyi Moore.
The one you knew is from where?
We were together in a particular church.
Because she's a praise and worship leader.
That should be the same Toyi Moore that I think I know, but I want to know if she knows me first, then maybe that will. Because I check her status.
And your name is the same?
My name is always been, yes, Abraham Great. She knows as Great. I've only been known in the last 20 years. Only anybody that knows me like the last 20 years will only know Great. Okay. So, you asked me a question, sir.
Yes, because I noticed that it's like you pick up one or two things with the idea of live broadcast. You are one of the few people that have really maximized that idea. After me, you have really done a lot of, you are doing a lot of things on Facebook, yes, especially with live broadcast.
I mean, that you stirred my passion to release my potential. And one of the first things that I started doing was, like, God spoke to me about this, to start I pray in the spirit 6 a.m. every weekday. And this is something that I struggled with to do publicly, because normally people will read from the Bible that when you are praying in tongue, you edify yourself. But as you now know me very well, sir, the strongest thing in my life is the fact that my life is ordered by the Lord. So, but I heard that, so I take a cue from you, and I started that broadcast, and I've heard all kinds of testimonies. Sometimes I would think, oh, it's not hundreds of people that are watching it, but the kind of testimonies that I've heard about our people's prayer life, but more so, the Lord said, is using our tongue, is using our mouth to establish certain things over the continent of Europe. So whatever God is saying, I don't know, or doing, I don't know, we just pray in the Spirit. But the testimonies that I've seen from it is that people call me from America, even from here, members of your church, are calling me and telling me that you don't know how this has built me up, or how the revelation you gave about Ukraine has blessed my life. Then I started this new Nigeria, which is my passion. And that one I started on Tuesdays, live broadcast. And I'm surprised. Pastor Sunday, you know one thing? One of the topics that I did on this new Nigeria, the first one that I did was, one of the ones that I did was on Nigerian passport. And I was challenging the reason why the Nigerian passport is scarce. And like you always do, I got all my facts right. I was with the embassy, I was the head with the embassies, I called a few embassies, and I interviewed most of the top people there. And I saw that a lot of Nigerians started writing me personal emails, sending me messages of how they're trying to get their Nigerian passport in Germany, in Australia, in Canada, how it's been a pain this year particularly to renew. For some period, it has been easy. But I realized that how that topic was huge. I realized that those who were in Nigeria don't understand, because they could still get passports easy.
You didn't even know it was a problem like this. You just followed the leading of the Spirit.
Exactly. So I then went, during the period, I went to Nigerian Embassy in London. And I see that for the last few months, they've not been able to produce the passport. They don't have booklet. So I asked them, I said, why? They told me why. And I make it a subject. But Pastor Sunday, do you know the testimony there is that? Myself and somebody, one of the top people in the immigration department, we then decided to do something about it and write the authorities, sir, in Nigeria, as at last week, a bill has now been put forward in front of the president to increase Nigerian passport to 10-year tenure.
Yeah, I saw it tweeting somewhere.
Yes, we instigated that. So Nigerian passport is now, from what I'm hearing, the president is going to approve it, and Nigerian passport will now be, instead of having 5 years on your Nigerian passport, some of us that don't need Nigerian passport, we don't understand what other people are going through. Some people cannot even work in the country they live in. But there are so much bottlenecks around Nigerian passport. So I pick on issues, and I see that this is blessing many people. I do Achievers Forum, but you know, sometimes I get tired of them. And I look at Pastor Sunday, the one you have started, you have never tired. I said, no, I have to wake up again and do the next one. But you have.
But your own was not every day.
No, I can't. Can I do everything, Pastor Sunday? You remember that I've been advised that I will kill myself? I don't have that kind of energy. So I do the prayer one. I do the prayer one Monday to Friday. I do the Disney Nigeria on once a week. I do Achievers Forum twice a week. But I remember somebody working with me when I told him I was doing timetable, and I said we're going to do this in Nigeria every day. He said, sir, we can't do it. We don't have the capacity. We cannot. He said, sir, you're going to. You don't have that time. There's no way with all these businesses around you. And I realized that I have a problem in my hand. I have businesses and I have things that it almost seems as though I cannot live or cannot live without me. And that is why what I explained to you yesterday, I'm restructuring my life in such a way that my business are different from me. And I can live my real purpose. While others...
Just like everything is functioning.
Exactly.
I have millions of deals going on. You don't even know.
Exactly. And I like the fact that I'm privileged to know some of the things that you are working on in terms of businesses and projects and how huge they are. You know me, last year we were close to having something strong.
Yeah.
And because of the amount of money that was coming, you know, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep. I would be thinking, I would be pressing calculator, translating it into pounds or into naira. Okay, this is a Pastor Sunday will look at me and say, young man, you don't understand. You are not ready. You are not ready. And now, those kind of figure does not even make a difference to me any longer. You know, I'm not perturbed by, you know, everything I pursue, money is no longer keeping me up late, or I can't sleep, or I'm calculating, I must have conference calls, I sleep when I need to sleep now, I wake up when I need to wake up, like you saw, business.
But it's not only that shouldn't give you sleepless nights, nothing should.
Yes, sir.
Not ministry, not problems, not challenges, not money, not anything. You should just, you know, unless you don't want to sleep to do what you need to do.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay, you know, guys, I think our time is over. Is there any other thing you want to say?
I just like to greet everybody out there. I planned something else to speak with Pastor Sunday, but it has taken a good turn of how this should be. I love everybody out there. For most of you that are on this platform on a regular basis, I can almost say we are families. I watch you all every morning, and I see how so many people are ecstatic about the truth, and how some of us are pragmatic about the truth, you know, doing something. I can see Toyimo doing our home program already. That's very fantastic program. I can see Anastasia doing our own thing. Now, here is my testimony in brief. Anything I hear that I should do, I go straight away doing them. Many of us are obsessed with knowledge that we have extracted from our leaders, or from Pastor Sunday, or from what have you. And there are some of us, you are still hearing, but you have acted. Let me say this. Let me say to some husband and to some wife. There are some people that you have been hearing on how to treat your wife or your husband, or how you should be a better husband, or how all you are doing is that is the truth, or that's very good. Oh, you see, it is easier to learn. What is more difficult is to do. I will encourage everybody out there, go out and start doing the things that you are hearing. Either it is on national transformation, or it's on family, or it's on faith, or it's on prayer, or it's on project, or it's on focus. Go out and discipline yourself to start doing something. When you do it, people may not pay you attention, but as long as you continue doing it, your wife may not appreciate your new self. Your husband may not appreciate your new self. You might do it for 2 days, and the next time you got it wrong, or you misbehave, or you fled up, or you mistreat your husband, your wife again, revert back. The truth should now be your default setting. The truth that we are learning should now be our default setting. Let me say that again. The truth that we're learning on this platform should now be our default setting. We have been set in a kind of mindset before that is wrong. We need to do a reprogramming, relearn, rediscipline yourself, reprogram yourself, emancipate yourself, but understand that hearing it alone is not sufficient. And if you think you have heard enough of Pastor Sunday, I've heard of Pastor Sunday almost every day of my life for 2 years, and I've not scratched the surface. Keep on learning. The order of your life is glory. Amen. It is working. Thank you.
Wow. People are applauding you, and they're applauding you, they're excited, happy for you. And well, everybody, that's Abraham, great for you from Great Britain. So if you're in Great Britain, you could connect with him and, let the revolution begin in Great Britain. Pastor Greg will be coming back to Britain tomorrow. And but we've had a wonderful time with him. And thank you so much for this session that you've shared your heart with us, your experience with us. And tomorrow I will be back in the morning to continue my teaching session on fathers. Tomorrow I'll be teaching on. Let me tell you what I'll be teaching on: the behavioral pattern of boys growing up without fathers. But I'll be talking about the second category of men and boys who grow up without fathers: the passive, the withdrawn, and the quiet men. The quiet, withdrawn, and passive men. So those are the ones we'll be talking about tomorrow morning. So thank you, Pastor Great. It was a wonderful, wonderful session. I'm sure you've got a lot of lovers and admirers from tonight. So God bless. Good night, everybody. Bye.